the water, the condensed water away from the
Hmm.
structure. But it's like to me, that's a major benefit that we're not tapping into. It's like we should be trying to bank on that. If we have a passive system that's creating condensation, like why aren't we
Water, the
tapping in
condensed
it
water away.
as much as possible?
Yeah, good question. Good question. Okay. Okay. So, so yeah, just for those that just joined now, it's we just explained about Mexico and this, yeah, two parts to the workshop, and I'm going to answer your question, Jake, now. So there is the inner work, and there is the which is much needed to heal, to open your wings, and to go into your full potential. And I'm not claiming that you'll be able to get your full potential within a week, but you'll surely have the tools to carry on healing further and opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up, taking full responsibility for yourself, for your life, and for everything that's happening in your life. And then the second part of the workshop is the design, passive heating, passive cooling, bionic design of a home, which is, by the way, the 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 building that I really want to work on in Mexico is this. Okay, it's just an AI representation of one of the other pictures, but it's very close to the shape that. So it's basically a structure that's in compression. What I really like, and it's we're gonna be using this method of construction. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now, but basically, computers have allowed us to make really interesting shapes. Yeah, and compression only structures. So basically, it's that. It's that. So it's things printed together and placed in a shape to make a compression structure like that. Why? Because these guys took 6 years to build this home. We want to optimize it and get these homes out in 1 week. I don't have a design yet, which is what we're going to be working on Mexico. I have like a quick pencil sketch. I have a quick Rhino drawing, and I have a couple of photos to explain the greenhouses that will pop out. And using my hands, I'll explain how the shade awning will work so the sun doesn't bake inside. So this is the new type of buildings that we have, that we want to get into the market all together. And I want to go together into a team with people that are aligned, that return their soul, aligned to the Holy Spirit, to the source. Yeah, the only one, the one and only. And I was an atheist for 30 years, so I came to a dead end and a big depression and panic attacks and lots of weed. So it didn't work for me. Um, yeah, if it's working for you and you're like, no, man, I just want Harry Potter and I want to dream about the big future, and it's all gonna happen like soon when the Bitcoin goes up or when the Trump goes down, and then I'll just smoke a bit more, and then it will create this bright new world. Uh, Stay in the haze, brother or sister. This workshop is not for you. The haze will clear up one day. It's called a tombstone, and you'll see the light. I want to have it in this lifetime. I want to play a big game, and that's why I want to transfer the inner work to you, open you up, not just transfer the theory, but really like just work on some settings in you that you want to eradicate. If you don't, you don't. If you do and you understand that it's hindering, there's going to be tears, there's going to be snot, there's going to be deep pain releasing. It's going to be an amazing experience. And parallel to that, we'll be doing the second part. So, Jake, to answer your question, Jake's question was more in line with passive cooling and the Earthship that has a tube and a different temperature gradient in the tube, hot air and cold air entering, different in temperatures between the Earth and the air. Actually, warm air enters. Then it cools down in the berm, yeah, and then it can condensate. So Jake, yes, yes. Obviously, it depends on your climate. So if you're in like in deserty climate and you need that water, uh, then what did I see? Let's talk about cooling that I've seen. Okay, Uh, um, in Cal Earth, okay, they have the Ecodome and they have this cooling tube. By the way, I bought a blueprint of the Ecodome, which I could bring with me actually, that you can all have a look at. It's like giant sheets, and I'll have my own blueprint as well. So, but basically, it's a giant tube that sticks past the home up, and if the wind comes from this angle, the air enters and goes down. Inside, they have some, so they're obviously facing prevailing winds. Yeah, inside that's some sheets of like bed sheets in a trough of water. Yeah, now the water wicks up the sheets, so like a radiator, and that air enters in, cools down through evaporative cooling. Is really cold air coming into the room. That's one thing. Then the second strategy I've seen, the guy took me in South Africa to this like a brick structure, and there was a brick, like a chessboard, like a brick, then a brick missing, a brick and a brick missing, yeah, like a chessboard. So a double wall, so the air could, obviously move between the two, and I had chicken wire on both sides, uh, like a mesh, and then I had charcoal placed between. Okay, let's say like I don't know, 4 inches plus minus. Okay, space. And what they did is they had some water dripping on the bricks. Okay, and the charcoal, the activated biochar, has a lot of surface area. Like there is a pores, and then you zoom into the pores. There's more pores. It's like fractal, fractal. And I actually was making our own biochar. Mm. In Thailand, I learned from Josh Kearns, Aquas Solutions, PhD in biochar. He came to Thailand, teach us a biochar drinking water workshop, which is very cool. It's in my course. I made two of them. Anyway, so this char, when you have water dripping and it gets really, and the wind blows through it, they made fridges like that. That's a second strategy. The third strategy in Iran, they made giant walls, and then two neighbors would collaborate to make that wall, and it would be like south on one side and north on the other side. And basically, they when they moved snow or water in here, and it froze on the northern side because of this high wall. It was always being shade, so they had basically ice many months into the summer. Ice, yeah. One needs to look deeper into it, but there were some strategies like that, but it was a really high wall. Mm. So, Jake, to answer your question that we should be tapping into that for evaporative cooling, definitely, definitely. I would direct that water to, let's say, these things need to be tested. So we need to make small prototypes, 1 to 10, 1 to 3 prototype. And by the way, that bionic structure, I have an intention to build it in Mexico. Okay, so possibly a few of us who organize will get cheaper accommodation. Okay, or we go on site for Roger, maybe Roger, we need to speak to Roger, maybe he, anyway, we can get much cheaper accommodation, or even possibly, I don't know, we need to get still an answer on that, but it will be different accommodation, much cheaper, and then we build on site this bionic structure, that one that I was sharing with you, 1 to 3 scale model. And for example, we can, if anybody wants to help out, we can test this evaporative cooling method, or somebody's already tested it. If somebody hasn't tested it with these sheets in the, well, they have in California, they tested it at Cal Earth. You just need to contact them and see like exact results. But the bottom line, we need a team for us to collaborate into bioarchitecture design studio, bioarchitecture prototyping lab, and I'll show you a picture what the guys in Mexico are doing in Tulum, the Roth architects. Okay, uh, basically, yeah, they've organized into Yeah, they've organized a bioarchitecture prototyping lab, and the prototyping materials, the prototyping. Here's a photo. This is a dream. This is a dream to create this together. This is my dream. So we have our own bioarchitecture studio that designs. And I don't see everybody working on a computer. I'm seeing like a lot more playful stuff. I'm seeing a prototyping lab where we're prototyping various materials. I'm seeing our production facility where we're printing these panels ourselves, and we get it professionally done. It's all marked, put into shipping container, and shipped all over America by tens of thousands of these buildings. We get them approved once, yeah, and we get our home like approved. So when the home enters America, it's like we don't need to go into engineering. It's all we get it done once properly, and we impregnate America with those buildings, which is a billion-dollar business. So we can reinvest and start building our own eco communities. But our first eco community is based around bioarchitecture. So Jake will be prototyping these very things that you're interested in and I'm interested in. Okay. And of course, the permaculture, landscaping and food forest gardening and excavators and ponds, the ponds and lakes, that's just that's a natural uh, extension of our beautiful buildings to the outside with food forest gardens, the um, uh, like yeah, aquaculture, just abundance of food, and like we don't even need to talk about it. We all know what we want, and it's just 95% failure rate in communities. It's not good enough for me. Like I don't want to invest into something that so I want to go into something that I know we're gonna work out well because the inner work that I'm presenting stops manipulations, stops doing this. It's his fault because let me give you an example. I had a guy swearing at me at I bought something secondhand, some doors for this very my building with the arched doors for this building that I'm building this year, the Watellarium, that the blueprint I'm doing. I bought it secondhand. The guy needed to provide his passport details for the courier to arrive and pick up. He didn't want to give his passport details forever. Like he's had his own fears. The courier wouldn't arrive, collect. The whole thing carried on for 2 months. Eventually, he says he's gonna throw away the doors. I paid for them in full. It was like a catch-22 lock-in situation. The guy's already phoning me. He's swearing at me, like screaming. I went and did a process like why do I not want these doors and why do I want to be humiliated? Not he's the evil bastard. Why do I want to be humiliated and why do I not want to receive these doors? As soon as I wrote out, I realized that these hidden things were standing behind it and beliefs, programs and stuff. I healed them. 11 minutes later or 10 minutes later, the same guy's phones. I couldn't believe it. The guy's like the sweetest teddy bear. He forgot that he was just foaming at a mouth. 2 months we have couldn't be able to resolve it. And these types of stories carry on and on and on. A lot. Like I don't want to take your precious time, but literally it's multiple realities. And it's not some pie in the sky concept. You can see I'm clearly Zen, like in my mind, clarity, no weed, no tobacco. I'm like, guys, this literally matrix exists. I swallowed the red pill or the blue pill with the alternative pill, and I'm gonna give you to swallow it for those that feel the calling. And the byproduct is feeling that amazing space, heart space, like 2/3, almost 3/4 of the time. The other quarter, I don't stick there in the low frequency. I figure process, and then half an hour later, I bump out. Again, swirling, dancing in an upliftment, in a joyful state. I mean, you can see the space I'm presenting. And I want to translate it onto, and I want to form a team with other friends that our children can run in between each other's homes. I'll take care of your kids, feed them while they're there. At the end of the day, we all want one thing. We want this cool community where uh, we collaboratively take responsibility for the kids. They're safe in our zone. We have, let's say, 10, 20, 50 homes. We have our beautiful permaculture. I mean, I even designed this whole space already with Paul Richardson, and you've seen this many times. Here it is. Um, yeah, here it is. 120 hectares, 70 families. Each one has the plot of land with the wall made of trees and shrubs. So everybody has privacy. We have some communal labyrinths. We have our own like conference center. We have our own school of bioarchitecture that would be like, where I'd be hanging around a lot, some empty pieces of lawn to have the students come and build, prototypes, 1 to 3 scale prototypes. So we don't go into full scale buildings. We make 1 to 3, 3 times smaller. So it becomes like giant tents that students themselves can sleep in, by the way. We collaborate with universities. Universities students have to do 3 months, practical before they get the degree, yeah, diploma. So they come, all the architectural and and landscape students, they come and do all the ones that want, the ones that want, yeah, the practical at us. We have call it free labor, cool, fresh blood. People, students, the best students who want to stay with us, stay with us. That's a permaculture research center with the greenhouses and gardens and beds and flowers and food forests. We have 2 schools for our kids. We have an Earthship hotel up here. You can see, yeah, all roads are on contour lines. Like the real deal. We have a market that like main point of contact that people come in from that space. Yeah. We have a festival spot that we can run our own festivals. I mean, it's just an idea of where we can take it. We have a pond at the bottom, and sorry, it's been cut off, with some domes that we can rent out. Yeah, it's like a great, nice, collaborative business together. But we can't do this if people are coming in with like his fault or manipulations or you owe me or you know what I mean? All that stuff. All that stuff's got to be released. So I'm searching for a team and I'm gonna find it and I'm inviting you to play a game of gods because cats have kittens, dogs have puppies. Who does the god have? Surely not slaves, okay? Jake, Ricardo, any questions?
No, not really at the moment.
Are you understanding why the inner work is important? The real inner work.
Yeah, man, I get what you're.
Well,
Yeah, Ricardo?
yeah, I mean, I'm currently working on the inner work, stop sabotaging myself and all
Mm,
that.
mm,
So, yeah, it's been really hard. Not the project part. Most of it's the self-sabotaging, the I'm not good enough, all that kind of stuff is just really heavy with me,
mm,
and I try to let it go. Actually, uh, I've been following you for 4 or 5 years,
mm-hmm,
and I mean, I love uh, the whole healing of the earth through architecture and abundance, all of that. But the current programming is keeping me stuck in the system, and I, I honestly think that this year is my breakthrough.
yeah.
So I'm I'm in the midst of all of that, and I I'm sure that you're gonna be a huge part on this part of my journey. And on a side note, I work with AI, and I want to create like a lot of stuff with nature, so we can just turbo boost all of these systems and make it in a safe way, aligned with the Mother Earth and all that. Probably next week I'm gonna share some stuff on the Telegram group.
Mhm.
Also, I've been like gathering a lot of 3D printed stuff that I want to like uh, introduce, or like make sure that we don't need the system, or we need the system as little as possible.
Mhm.
So I'm in that journey with
That's
all of you
amazing.
guys, open-minded. I mean, I feel like at home with all the things that you share.
And
I'm all
Ricardo,
over.
you've seen the transformation. I mean, if you've been following me for 5 years, you can see a flip that happened 2 years ago. Can you see it?
Yeah, actually, the designs seems more refined. The clarity of the project. I think that everything this year energetically is getting aligned, so we can like make some real changes. And actually, I think that the world needs people like us to help them in these troubled times, and help them make the switch to capitalism, to abundance. I'm
Yeah, but it first
I'm
starts,
actually,
Ricardo,
yeah.
but it first starts with us helping ourselves. Because if we're a mess and we're going and trying to save the world, which I did and 10 years ago, I just had tuberculosis eventually because you need base energy to keep your body going, your blood, your eyes, hair growing, skin, nails, you know what I mean? And then the cream a la crop, the excess energy is what we invest into projects, other people, and making the world a better place. So I, then we, then all of us. Do you understand? It's like a spiral, but starts with I. And it's not a unhealthy ego because, on the contrary, I've let go of all my ego mostly. But it still starts with I. Like if I don't have like shoes to wear, like you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So it's very very important, and that excess energy is what we are going to be creating. So first we're going to cover our basics and start feeling good here, and from this good we start filling up with more and more and more love, and it's like okay, let's do this bioarchitecture collaborative, a collaborative, not Alosha at the top of the pyramid. That's the way it is. Ricardo comes with his piece of the puzzle and the research that you've been doing with 3D printing, because I've just been, thinking in that direction. I haven't done. Somebody comes can actually code the 3D printer. Somebody so you know what I mean? Everybody puts their piece. Jake comes and brings his passive research on cooling technologies and water recirculation and that kind of thing. And everybody does their part. How do we know? How do we split the money? Because that's the most important, like not most important, but of course it's you know that's where people, stumble, fall down. We have an app, and I've seen this app. It's quite amazing. And now we can even ask AI to design us a similar app. But the app, basically, it has like an agreement. Let's say Ricardo and Jake make an agreement that Jake will design a passive system for our bioarchitecture new home. Jake, being a master in the field, says, look, it's going to take about 25 hours. Okay. The difficulty, 9 out of 9 or 9 out of 10. Okay. Because Jake is a master. Ricardo says, deal. Okay. I can see your master. Go for it. And you guys agree. Then Jake delivers this design of a passive system, tested one, for example. And Jake gets the funds up in this app, and where's money coming from is basically we have our own app internally. So when we start, selling these homes, all Jake's time has been recorded, and the difficulty has been recorded, and the rate at that difficulty has been recorded. So Jake, how I see it, like within our community, could get a massage, for example, for the beginning, or this or that. So that can be used eternally, or it can be used to exchange for money as we're selling homes, as of course we're creating abundance. By selling the homes, by doing whole retreat centers. Yeah, we're not limiting to homes, guys. By the way, homes is just, and I've shown you two. I'm showing you the one that I'm designing now, which is a blueprint. Yeah, I'm showing you the bionic one, which I want to be building in Mexico with you guys as a, you know, and I'm showing you now a multi-purpose center. Hold on, like this. Okay. You remember all my bigger designs? Like um like oh sure that. Like these ones. These are bigger guys. That's like 100 feet, 200 feet, like larger sensors. Larger spaces. We look at geometry that's comfortable. We're looking at spa centers like saunas and things like that. So we're not limiting. The heat exchangers are here. We can get them off shelf. So you see, this is like an earthship berm behind, but more compact. Not for spaces that don't have, like, I don't know, huge amount of land. And these are heat exchangers. So a lot has been thought, and a lot needs to be still tested. But in a good hard space, we can get these things going. But the vision for the larger centers, again, I'm going to show you a few images. I need you to switch on your imagination. South side, we have a thing from ETFE material, like a Eden greenhouse, Eden, in Cornwall in England. Yeah. So we don't lose heat all over the place. From the east, west, and northern side, we have Arco Santine, Arizona, well insulated vault. Low cost, to build it with students, by the way. Yeah, vault. On the back side of the vault, we have like an ending piece, like a quarter orange. There it is. Also well insulated. Off that, we have some rooms that come out. Uh, like, just bear with me. The Yeah, like this. Okay, off the back part of the vault, we have some rooms coming out for living. So this could be the first space we build on our land. We build our 6 rooms to live in, the back space, the workshop space, and the greenhouse in front. Then we come off that from the greenhouse. You remember I was just showing you the greenhouse, the side thing off the geodesic. Okay. Then we have, for example, the second one we build, that's our workshop, or we build a workshop for first. Build a couple of quick glamping things that we can stay in comfy, build a workshop that we can start generating income. I don't know. I don't have all the questions, all the answers. I have a lot of questions, and we need a team to do this together. But what we're basically going for is we want to start making our own neighborhoods. It's a quick design I did for uh, um, 3 acres, 3.2 acres. There is the multi-purpose space. Here is 4 pieces, 4 lots of land. Here's accommodation, like each room to like or 2 rooms per family, like beginning stages, how we start off, and a long greenhouse in front, like a long earthship in a berm. Yeah. Here's some gardens in front of us also, so we don't fuss each one with a garden. It can be, we can plow it once, and then we can collaboratively grow a lot of food. You know what I'm talking about. We have our more volts, repetitive volts for our tractor, for our equipment, for our little bobcat or whatever. And we have our, let's say, parking lot and things to turn around for equipment. And we have a road that goes up. Obviously, this was linked to a specific piece of land. Um, and that's our like little temple on top where we do some, I don't know, prayers, some yoga. Also has greenhouses in front. It's just an idea of a little neighborhood for, I don't know, like 5, 6 families, something that we can start off with. This is a whole bioarchitecture cluster where we have our own design bureau. Yeah, design bureau. We have a few of these homes that I was showing. These are all my designs, by the way. We have this multi-purpose this a multi-purpose building where we actually have some production facility, small kind of production facility and prototyping. We have our permaculture, a beautiful labyrinth. We have some other homes. We have a co-working space. Again, repetitive vaults. You're going to see a lot of repetitive vaults. I'll show you why. I learned it at Cal Earth. We have a submersive, what's it called? Terraced permaculture thing. It goes down, down, down. Has own microclimate. You know what I'm saying. And we have two Vastu flats. By the way, Vastu flats, amazing. I'll show you now. It needs more design, not more. It needs a lot of design work. But basically, a Vastu flat, friends, is this thing. I just have this. I just have a floor plan for now. So we have in the sense and Vastu, you have a Brahmastan. It's 1/3 is opened up to empty. So it's 3 stories. Yeah. So 3 floors has got like a space to do yoga and a communal space to do yoga, yeah, and meditation and whatever. We have the flat itself is the rooms around. These are all the square meters, by the way. So the sharp corners, we have cupboards in there, yeah. So you have nice rounded corners actually, and these are doors and vaults and this is 3 stories. Terrible AI drawing. I haven't like a friend helped me out. Like we gotta get it. But basically, on top of this, again, if you look at my hands, you have a quarter sphere well insulated and a quarter open to the sun. And so we have a roof garden. A roof garden, the collaborative space for 3 families to meet. That's an amazing product. There's no Vastu flats. Vastu is very, 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 very important. Okay, looks weird, but they're basically proven with Vastu that if you have a certain window from the north or the east, the energy opens up in the space, and they've proven it. We obviously have biogeometry that allows us to check the energetical spots. So God forbid we have people's chairs or beds placed on the wrong place. So you know what I mean? There's a whole vast of flat. This is an amazing product. We're gonna make this like hotcakes, by the way. And the balcony is amazingly designed. If you look at my hands, balconies like bionic balconies, beautiful with also a little greenhouse in each balcony. You've seen that building in Spain, yeah, full of trees, that kind of thing. But obviously in Spain, it's a different climate. So we'll be working with climate specifics. But that now showed you 3 products that we can already launch with our architecture construction company: the homes, the multi-purpose greenhouses, various sizes. Here's an Earthship one. Uh, yeah, there it is. Obviously taking it to next level. But you see, the problem with Earthships just takes so long to do this thing. We're gonna go towards. Oh, and by the way, I didn't finish this multi-purpose greenhouses for cold climate, and we're gonna do tropical gardens inside. So inside them, they're gonna be like that. How's this whole thing gonna be heated and cooling? Here's an amazing concept for you. Obviously, all climate specific, but the cooling, we could send cold air in these channels, and the channels can be made out of Hyper Adobe. I've got a good way to build them quick, or it could be 3D printed. By the way, everything that's made with Hyper Adobe is designed for 3D printing, because it's the same additive technology. So it's, although I'm testing it in Hyper Adobe because I don't have currently, we don't have a large 3D printer on rails, that goes forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And plus it's uneconomical to set it up for one building. So I'm testing it in Hyper Adobe, but all these buildings are designed for 3D printing. And the 3D printing technology has already shown you 2. Icon Build in Texas, ICON, they've developed a third one. It's called Phoenix. But anyway, how's this whole thing going to be heated or cooled? Through these channels, we basically send the heat from hot compost first. Second, we get this is the technology I've developed. So instead of overheating the green, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating to some of you, but yeah, instead of overheating the greenhouse, yeah, like in an Earthship, we do a double plexiglass, yeah, and here we tap into the heat between the 2 plexiglasses, and also here's vacuum tubes. By the way, glass vacuum tubes, they heat water, and these ones heat air, and we store it in a berm. So what the technology I've developed, what makes it different is basically we force the heat into the berm. The Earthship just slowly roasts. You remember? The Earthship is slowly roasts, slowly as the sun enters, these ties slowly warm up. I made the wall much bigger, and I send the pipes to force the heat into the berm. That's the main thing that I've done in all of my designs and over the yeah. So these are all my designs, by the way. So everybody brings to the pieces to the of the puzzle to the main pot. And the reason for the inner work is that we don't all give each other a finger after 5 years of work and say, it's not for me, it's your fault, you're a bastard. So we all come in. We all come in with our special gifts and we put into the spot. We work through our inner stuff. So there's no manipulations, no stuff. We help each other to process further. And we get on with it to create a fantastic company that serves the greater good, making incredible wealth, not pocketing all of it, although we are up for abundance and flying business class or not business class, traveling and enjoying and learning from other masters, investing into equipment, developing our own community of, around bioarchitecture and building other communities that will launch other communities based on other things, but people will be paying us to build these communities for them, and they'll be running different themes, like a healing theme or whatever they're doing. Yeah, our theme is bioarchitecture because we're going to be the ones that are going to be building other communities, neighborhoods, and cities. Cities a bit loud spoken, but you know what I'm saying about when I mean a city is cities that increase life. But we start small without gigantic, and we're forming a team. Any questions? And Ricardo, by the way, we're going to help you with that stuff. We're going to help you with that stuff with self-sabotage. I so clearly hacked me and I managed to hack it and I'm still working through it. Self-sabotage is the biggest downfall of my life has been. And I'm working through it and have worked some things out. So on the level that I have, I'll be able to give this to you and give these skills to you. And we'll do some deep healing. You'll see what stands behind them. I have a very special tool in the box. When we connect to the Holy Spirit, the answers just come clearly, like boom, the thing that you don't know what the root of that thing is. Like in my observation, 2-3 minutes, or even 1 to 2 minutes, you get the answer. You're like, oh shit, yeah, it's that thing. This is the core reason why I'm doing self-sabotage. Once you acknowledge it, then we can heal it. And we will be able to heal it because I have another tool in my toolbox that heals it like bang. And I'll tell you that about it when we meet. And it works. It doesn't like it works every time. Jake.
Yeah, had a couple questions. I forgot the second one. Maybe it'll come back to me. But first one, I was wanting to ask you if you're familiar at all with geopolymers.
Yeah, I've heard of them. It's quite an amazing material. These guys from these geodesic domes, what are they called?
Yeah,
You know, they've been who?
GeoShip.
Yeah. These guys taking it really far. Of course, that's very cool. That's very cool. I think it's in the right direction. It's in the right direction. There's one thing I didn't share with you. We might be making these panels. Remember the panels for our new bionic buildings? Just recap. Bionic building, compression only structure, no reinforcement, no rebar, no metal, made of panels that go in compression together. Jake, we can make this out of geopolymers, or we can make this out of clay and fire them up like clay bricks, yeah, and use our facility that fires up these panels, but through the channels horizontally send the heat to warm up a large amount of mass so that we have our tropical jungle in the midst of the snow. I will build that like North America, like Washington or Canada or wherever we want. That's or yeah, wherever we choose to land our first, like, yeah, I mean, somewhere beautiful, somewhere like nature is beautiful. Want to do it somewhere beautiful. So yes, geopolymers is amazing direction. Would love to investigate more. So we need somebody that comes in who's like, imagine that a person joins our team that's just been spending 25 years on geopolymers. I mean, if that's possible, that's possible. If
Oh,
it's not possible for humans, it's possible for gods. And we're going to play a game of gods, and we have Papa God with us. I'm not playing a game without God anymore. I tried. So yes, Jake, amazing. What did you want to share about geopolymers, or in short?
oh well, I'm been working with a couple friends. One of them's a old timer who's pretty experienced in a wide range of fields and everything we're talking about, and he's been experimenting and had some really great successes with different mixes. I think they've done like over 1,000 mixes, geopolymer mixes in the last
Wow,
3 4 years, and
wow,
I mean had some really good results here in Taos. And I mean I see it as a really simple way, or not simple, is it's not really cost effective yet, just because the sodium silicate is still pretty expensive.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Could replace all the EPDM, could replace all of the rigid polyiso. I mean, you could have an entire stone structure that could stand for thousands of years and function
And it's
like the,
insulated and it's waterproof.
yeah, you can make all kinds of different mixes. You can make thermal mass mixes, insulative mixes. You can change the colors of it depending on if you want it to be absorptive or reflective. I
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
mean,
Amazing,
but it's just
amazing.
extension of the chemistry of the minerals basically and how to
Mhm,
bind them together, which is does take a great artistry,
mhm.
but it's definitely there. There's people who are working with it, and this guy who's we're here with, he is seems to be at the forefront of it and is tied in with some of the people who are at the very peak of the research right now.
Incredible. Yeah,
He's
just
really good ideas, and also with like the passive heating and cooling, thermal siphons. I mean, he's got some of the more elegant, well thought out ideas and designs that I've come across along with yours. That's why and he's aware of you. I've shown him some of your stuff through the years, so and he's liked your work. I could definitely
yeah.
see.
Let's if you could connect us together, maybe we can schedule a separate Zoom call. See if we can how we can not if how we can collaborate. I would
Yeah,
be delighted and honored and very grateful for that if you could set up a call together.
yeah, I'm sure he'd be up for it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We need him in the team, man. We would like him in the team. We need people in the team that want to be in the team. And we want people to be, what makes us different is that everybody does only what they love.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And we'd get AI to take care of all those shitty tasks like bookkeeping and all that stuff that just like, you know, just register. And obviously these amazing apps that we log in our slips every time we purchase something. And it's just like, just AI will help us a great deal. And there's nothing to be scared of. You know what I mean? Money is just a tool. Used for evil, it's reptile evil stuff. Used for good, amazing stuff can be done. Research materials, printers, equipment, yeah, fruit nurseries, fruit tree nurseries, etc. Same as AI. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think that one of the other things that we teach with this inner work is this agreement that in the perfection of everything that's happening around us, the wars, the bad, the good, and the ugly. It's just I'm in agreement with all of it. I don't know why is it good, but I choose to believe it's good for some reason. And it took such a great deal of pain off my chest, of suffering for our dying planet and all that stuff, because it's in my life, nothing is dying anymore. I'm just seeing life everywhere. I'm living, I'm expressing, I'm joyful. I'm dancing and swirling in the park in my earphones, listening to music. I see so much life. I see so much beauty. But when I was focusing on the dustbin and staring in the dustbin constantly, then I see shit. You know what I mean? you might say, oh, also you got red lenses, the world is dying. Guys, I'd rather have these pink lenses and create a new world out of a good space than focusing all the shit that's going on. That's not in my reality. I have to literally switch something on to look at the shit that somewhere else in the world is happening, lower my frequency. Oh, but I need to be aware what's happening in the world. And from that lowered frequency, what can I create? Correct, Jake.
Oh no, I remembered the second thing bring up when you were talking about like um, products basically to take to market. Something that I've been working on for several years now, amongst other things, is that I see as one of the simplest and most beneficial is the biochar, tying that
Mm.
tying that in with like rocket retorts
What is
where
rocket rectors?
like a rocket stove that's basically pyrolyzing carbon, any carbon
Nice.
material, wood, plastics, garbage, like
Yeah.
especially plastics. I mean, you can pyrolyze it in a low oxygen environment, turn it to biochar and condense all of the exhaust and turn it back into liquid fuels and can also
Wow.
use that for hydronic heating. I mean, this could be powering your on-doll floor. I mean, and then here,
Amazing.
yeah, there's
Amazing.
things that can be stacked with it. And then, I mean, building soil is so important. And then water filtration, EMF blocking, skin products, internal products for like cleansing. I mean, there's so many things that can,
Amazing.
that
So,
is,
the way I see it, Jake, the way I see it, very good that you brought it up. We're gonna start off with one or two products that we all agree on, that we say, look, based to all of our experience and what we can do in the team, we choose like two or three things. As we get those on autopilot, you know what I mean? They're producing, the production is running like Model T. We start developing other products into our in our research lab. Or we parallel can, so you don't have to wait for years, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to take years. If we all organize quite well, we can have things cranking really soon. And that's the plan. But definitely develop our own heating system that burns waste. I've seen it. I posted something in our bioarchitecture group maybe 2 years ago. Amazing. It uses tires, just burn a little thing. It just throws in two tires in it, and it just goes for like 20 hours, and it like nothing. There's no smell. There's no toxicity, and out of this at the end. Like clean ash comes out, or not even ash. I don't know. It was incredible to see. So yes, technologies are there. People already doing it, and they figured them out. So I think it's amazing. I believe it's amazing, and it's definitely a product we can launch, or either sold separately or installed as a heating unit into our homes.
yeah. I mean, I'm working on a design right now that's integrating a lot of stuff. I mean, passive water heating, making the char, cooking system, making the liquid fuels, and also I plan on pairing it with the Geet reactor. Now people are calling it the thunderstorm generator, but a plasma reactor fuel processor that like you can turn your basically exhaust into a hydrogen-like substance. They say if it's tuned properly. I mean, I've built them, they work, but I don't know if it's producing hydrogen yet. I don't
Mm,
have
mm,
my
mm.
testing equipment, but it definitely works and it's clean. And
Wow.
you can run all kinds of different fuels.
I just want to return back to your composite material. What are geopolymers?
Yeah,
Remember, the main thing that what I'm also preaching, not preaching, but what I stand for is the right geometry. When
yeah,
we have the right geometry, we can go ultra thin. And with geopolymers, we can go literally 1.5 inches structures and make glamping structures for glamping. With those on-doll floor, which is those preheated panels. I mean, I'm just going to show people for repetition. On-doll floor is a South Korean system of floor with some thermal mass that basically heats off either fire, but I've even developed one that can heat off hot air in getting hot air at the top of the greenhouse and sending that through these channels. Yeah. Anyway, glamping units built on top of these panels will allow many of our students that come from universities to do their practical and so on to live in these structures, so we can get rapid homes really fast built with the glamping. And as you know, I've been working a lot with textiles. 16 years of my life I spent developing this business, which I sold for zero, by the way, with 10 million or like $5 million worth of textiles alone. But that was, yeah, so it's biomimicry in action. So I've been working with Bionic Textile, so we could develop very interesting structures that work with composite materials. These are all my photos, by the way, just for anybody that hasn't seen. These are all my real projects that I've done, including the timber structure. That's the one that I've been designing now, redesigning and not making the new one. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, Jake, that's really cool. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and the guy who's been working on the geopolymers, I mean, most of his design that we've been talking about is planning on being some kind of or utilizing inflatable
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and doing a thin shell and then burying it. I mean, he's got some really interesting designs. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the passive heating and cooling, and I mean to tie back to the evaporative, the water from air. I mean, something
Yeah.
I'm envisioning with the whole circulatory system of the structure is because typically, like in the Earthships, I mean, they're working against the energy. Like instead of having the cold always falling and the hot always rising, like there's these thermal diodes throughout the system where it's creating like these temperature gradients or a cline. Like there's a
Yeah. That's what this guy's done. Have a look at that. Are you in the alumni group? I'm gonna send from alumni to the other main Telegram group for all. But this what this guy did. It's incredible. He made an ice freeze on one side of the building, and he's got a hot thing on the other, and he constantly has cross wind going between the two because air travels from cold to hot.
hot to
Yeah,
cold and hot. Yeah, they
hot
go
to
to each
cold, hot to cold. Okay, yeah, yeah. Jake, we'll do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. But can you see the need to form a team? Because you're figuring out something alone. I'm figuring out something alone. Ricardo is in Mexico alone. And we're like doing our thing, but we just need to come together. The inner workers, so we can come together and don't fuck out. Exploding. Sorry to use that word, but there's nothing, really nothing else to explain, you know. And unfortunately, there's a 98% failure rate in everything. And we just want to not even avoid it. We want to know that we are going to be in and in. And that's why there is no substances. If people are still doing substances, this inner work will help them get off substances. I'm off weed, I'm off alcohol, I'm off tobacco. And tobacco only left me 3, 4 months ago. But I was smoking like one cigarette in the evening, but it was really detrimental because I stopped myself feeling pain, but I also stopped feeling love and just lowering myself specifically on levels of down, and I'm not choosing to play in that anymore. So, uh, Jake, I would love to even chat with you separately about these technologies and with your friend because I think you have a lot to share, and I'd love to just connect with you. We don't have to, put it on live or anything or record it even. We can just connect and heart to heart and chat. So let's schedule a separate call because I know you want to share much, and I'd love to share with you, and we can do some brainstorming. So I don't want to just cut you short, but just for people who are not maybe want to dive deep into this right now. We won't go into it right now. So are you okay with that? We'll schedule a separate call.
Yeah, it's fine with me, man.
Yeah. So if there is no more questions, then we'll wrap that up. Ricardo, do you have anything from your side?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Okay. So just to recap, inviting you to Mexico, San Miguel de Allende, 7 days to do 6 nights to do a very deep inner transformative quantum leap and level up. Not even an upgrade, quantum leap and level up. Literally making you swallow the red pill, getting your soul back, or parts of your soul back, connecting you to the Holy Spirit, healing all that stuff that's limiting and stumbling and making you not live your fullest potential, getting you well on the way on that, giving you tools that you can do that yourself, continuing with a daily uh, prayer, not, yeah, prayer, I don't even call them a prayer, like a creation of inner state with word, creation of inner state with word. Okay. We can already start doing them as from tomorrow. If I get some heads up in my Mexican group or Telegram group, I'll form a separate group and I'll start doing regular, uh, uh, increasing inner state with word. It's a powerful words, and you'll yawn a lot, neurons rewire, and I'm ready to start that as from tomorrow. If there's interest, okay? And after the Mexican journey, those that want, they can join the group. Is going to be free of charge for anyone that wants to join, not just Mexican, anybody that wants to join. And we start doing this together in English, okay? So it's not just like give you something and leave you like all in the, like, what the hell is going on? Like, how do we actually, I'll be there every day. I might skip one day if I'm like traveling or something, or might move it by a few hours, but it'll be rare. I'm happy to stick to regularity, but at the same time, don't curse me if something changes now and then, a few hours forward, or it gets cancelled now and then due to travel or whatever. So yeah, and of course, we will be doing a lot of design work for developing. You could come with your own designs of your own homes, and we'll be parallel doing bionic building, new type of bioshelter that's buried from top. We're not like a typical Earthship that's buried from the northern side. We'll be doing a home that has its thermal mass underneath, okay, and on top. Yeah, with proper greenhouses, proper balconies, proper shade awnings. Uh, Things can basically, it's a new type of home. This is like Model T version. This is an ultra fast Earthship, gets put together by these plates, printed plates, and then gets buried by an excavator. Obviously, EPDM liner and all of that, and gets buried by the excavator. And the method of construction of that is starting with cement panels, but moving towards clay to make ceramics. So this is the method of construction of that type of home. I haven't seen anything better than that in the world yet. Compression only structures to make buildings that look similar to that, but our own design with balconies and greenhouses, as quickly shown in these very quick rough draft sketches. Yeah, and we'll be doing a deep dive into this design in Mexico. So if you can't pay the full fee, see what you can, check what you can do, pay for accommodation, pay part for me to reserve your booking, and then the rest you can pay over time, which is fair. And with this inner work, you will be able to generate the funds. And in full trust, I know that you'll pay it off in time. So I'm open. I'm up for dialogue. Message me. You'll find my details. And thank you for your time. And I'll see you in Mexico. We're one. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Ricardo.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye, Jake.